Hey everyone, this is Bimbo Summit.
It is Bimbo Summit.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Oh,
well, we fell off, right?
Yeah, we did.
Apparently,
famously, we fell off.
our metrics
we're
are
still a Bimbo
fucking
Summit.
washed, bro.
Our metrics are exactly the same as they've always been, but we fell off.
We did fall. I fell off. Shit.
Yeah, we fell off hard.
Shit. I fell off so hard. I skimmed my knee.
Oh,
ouchie.
You skimmed it?
You skimmed your knee?
Yeah, I skimmed that.
You skim it along a beautiful pond?
Yeah, I got the, when you like steam milk and it's got that scum on the top and you skim it off.
Yeah.
Ew. That happened to your knee?
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, that happened to my knee because I fell off so hard.
Mm.
Well, despite what your haters and your DMs have to say, we're back, and I'm so excited. I can't believe we haven't discussed this as of yet.
Yeah, moon.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Moon. I gave it away.
No, it's okay.
Well, they know it's the title, probably.
Yeah, they probably know it's the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about the moon. We raised a couple questions in our document that we like to use to stay incredibly organized.
Our docky.
In our doc, we raised some questions about the moon. So let's go over what we're gonna cover today, just so the listener knows what to expect. We had some questions about the moon. We had a specific angle, kind of a couple different things we wanted to know. So we said that we today might cover things like the history of the moon. How did it get there? Izzy would like to come out as a full mooner, a flat mooner.
Full mooner.
Full mooner.
I'm a full
That's
mooner.
when you show everyone your ass and your front.
Whoa.
Izzy also wanted to know what's inside the moon.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
What's in there? Maybe you guys like have notes this week. I don't.
I do. No.
Oh, Izzy has notes. Okay.
Izzy is leader.
I have a checklist.
Whoa, shit. Okay. So we also said we might talk about moon madness. Why does the moon make you nuts?
Yeah.
I believe that Dylan raised the possibility that the moon could be part of Mars, and then for some reason I have in quotes here, the body keeps score. Anyone remember what that was about?
Because the Earth would keep the score.
I was thinking the moon kept the score. Like the moon used to be part of Mars, and then it ended up here. But like that traumatic transit must really, have informed the moon's experience, because it's actually the best moon in the solar system.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to know, like,
that we know
as a man,
right? As a man,
I want to know, as a man, like, women there's like all this like women moon alliance stuff, right? Like, y'all are like connected to the moon in some way or something like that.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah, you said why do y'all have that back tattoo?
Why do y'all have that? Why do y'all have that Faces of the Moon tattoo in the 2010s? Why did you all get that tattoo?
Yeah.
I don't understand the connection, and I want to know how, as an ally, as a man, how can I better connect with the moon?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't think the moon and I don't have a personal relationship with the moon. You know,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know, even like Emma, like my girlfriend, is like excited. She's like, look at the moon. The moon is beautiful. And I'm like, moon, and that's all that you know. And I want to know what I want to understand
Right.
that
She
special.
has like she can look at it with awe and wonder that you are not able to muster.
Yeah.
I also make Jordan go look at the moon sometimes. Do you do this?
I feel like it's the opposite in my relationship.
Ooh, because you're dating an ally.
Exactly.
Do you think that Michael has a
He's like,
connection
Izzy,
with the
look at the
moon?
moon. He's like, let's go on the roof, look at the moon.
Wow. It
No,
must be wonderful to date a male feminist.
because you make Jordan go look at the moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means he still has work to do.
Yeah. He's working through stuff. He still has to be told to look at the moon.
I'm not answering this call.
Are you at work?
No.
You clocked in.
You clocked in right now, Dylan?
No, I'm clocked out, but that was Mike from operations calling me. I mean, I could call him. I could answer.
Yeah, put it on the pod.
Should I put it on the pod?
You can ask. You should be like, "Hey, you're on our podcast. What are your thoughts on the moon?"
Ask him if his girlfriend ever makes him look at the moon.
Oh, that's a good point. He has daughters too. I bet they make him look at the moon.
Yeah, pick it up.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, thanks,
from
Mike.
Operations.
And then we said we might discuss the moon landing real.
Oh yeah.
What's over there on that other side? I got an answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
What's on the other side? We said maybe Jimmy Hoffa. We can't prove that he isn't. Could have asked my grandfather, who was a Teamster. He died, but I bet he knows where Jimmy Hoffa is.
We could do a seance to ask him. Maybe.
I'm not doing a seance. I won't do a seance.
Do you think that like the average
he was an
knows
asshole.
where Jimmy Hoffa is?
The average Teamster?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's more that my grandfather in particular was a Teamster in northern Indiana at the time that Jimmy Hoffa disappeared.
He was an above average Teamster.
He was a more proximal Teamster than many to the time and place of Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance.
When Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, was he over the moon?
Whoa. I actually don't know. This man died when I was 1, and he also was not a nice person.
That's why it's important to ask those questions. Learn about your family history when you can important. From the, because like if you're Sarah, like you missed that opportunity,
Yeah, and I will never know from my elders.
You should have asked
where Jimmy Hoffa is.
You were
and
1.
If he is, in fact, on the moon.
Yeah,
but I was precocious. Like if I had a better direction, I bet someone could have helped me.
You were a reader.
I was a reader. I was a reader.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a reader.
She's a reader. I don't know what's that code for.
I don't know. Something bad. So yeah, Izzy, you got some notes on the moon, you say?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, should we start with this? Should we start with this video?
Yeah, let's start with this video.
This is to center us. This is a video that really I feel posits kind of our growth mindset about the moon.
Right.
Just to set the scene for you, this is a clip from the QVC channel. It is the fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi and some woman with a manager haircut. And they are holding up some of the ugliest tunics I have ever seen in my life. Izzy, can you describe this pattern?
It's kind of like Jackson Pollock-ish, like paint splatters, but rendered poorly, like pixelated.
And like sort of regularized.
Like it's almost floral, but it's not.
Yeah. It's like vaguely botanical.
It's like if you squinted at a garden.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful,
Yeah.
Shout out to Isaac Mizrahi. He makes my swim trunks.
Nice. Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Isaac on them in cursive.
With this clip, which is titled "Is the Moon a Planet or a Star?" Here we go.
All right, let's.
Color. That's such a happy, beautiful, rich.
It almost kind of looks like what the Earth looks like when you're a bazillion miles away from the planet Moon.
Yes, I just squinted at it.
From
and you're
the
right.
Moon, looking back
from
at
the planet Moon. From the planet
Isn't the
Moon.
Moon a star?
No, the moon is the planet, darling.
The sun is a star. Is the
Well,
moon really a planet?
The moon is a planet.
Don't look at me
honey.
like that.
It's
The sun is a star.
Planet.
Is the sun not a star?
I don't know what the sun is.
The sun is
we
a
don't
star,
know what the
isn't
sun is.
The sun is a star. The moon is not
The
a planet.
moon
I
is
knew
a
it.
planet.
I knew it. You were
Excuse
trying
me?
to take me down
No.
that road.
Wait,
the moon is not a
excuse me,
planet.
Chunky, if
What
you listen
road?
to me,
This
you
is
have to
Rosebud.
Google the moon.
road.
Someone, I
okay?
can guarantee you someone's Googling right now.
The
Because
moon
I
is
knew it
such
was
a
not
planet.
a planet.
I can't
the
even
moon
stand
is
it.
not a planet.
What else is it if it's not a
It
planet?
is not. I believe it's a star or something.
It's
it is
a
not
moon. It's a moon.
Didn't you do that thing in grade school where you had to name the
moon.
planets and there was Uranus and there was Saturn and the one with the rings and and then the Earth and the moon is never in there, dude. It's not a planet. All right, here, look. This is key lime.
I don't know.
I
I don't
feel
know
like
what it is
sometimes,
besides. What
though,
is it?
I
A
am
baseball or
educated. I
something?
exposed
What is
during
it?
the
Cheese?
show
Come on, it's a
that
planet.
this blonde of mine could be real.
Okay.
The moon is what?
A natural
moon is a
satellite.
natural
but
satellite.
things live on it. It means it's a planet.
Is that what Google said?
Wait, what?
I don't know what
No,
it
I don't like
says.
that at all. I don't even
Me
know what that
either.
means.
It's so hard to pick a favorite moment from this clip, but I would say that mine might be Isaac Mizrahi confidently saying, "We don't know what the sun is."
We don't.
It can't.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Can't. Be
I was
known.
like, I was fully agreeing with Isaac that it was a planet until he said it's a planet because things live on it, right?
Because things live on it.
And
Yeah.
I was like, wait. What does he think lives on the moon? Like,
Well, the
is it little?
astronauts for one.
Does he think they like Neil Armstrong lives there, like in the
Yes,
suits?
that's his house. Not to brag, but America was the first country to go to the moon. We did it 6 times.
Right.
We tried to do it,
We
I
were
think,
fighting
9.
with Russia over it.
We were fighting with Russia. We were in
Russia
a.
Anyone
couldn't
did
do it.
It was the Cold War, so it was really important that we beat Russia at space. You know, Russia did have, I think they had the first woman. I don't know if she walked on the moon, but they had a lot of other, they were really good allies. They had women doing all kinds of stuff in space.
They had
okay, well, that's a point for Russia for sure.
Yeah.
They had the first like man in space and like the first satellite in space and like
Man, woman, and satellite, all the genders represented.
beautiful opera.
Dog, also dog.
Dog. They killed that dog, but that's okay.
They were better than killing a
It
person.
wasn't okay. You know, I mean, it's not good though.
I would agree it's not good. And, you know, I've stated my position about this, which is that we did not need to go. I don't believe in space travel. Not important to me in the least. I don't think we should do it. I don't think we should have done it. Very silly.
Why?
So we beat Russia. Why? What business do we have up there? That's not important.
Oh, okay. So are you afraid of what we might find?
We just have no business going up there. When you look at the moon, do you look at the moon and think, I think people should be up there? I don't.
Well,
no,
I
mean,
mean,
stay away from me.
I'm torn because in a way I agree with you. Like I feel that way about like Arizona. You know?
Yeah, sure.
But like also it seems like you're like worried we're going to be intruding on something. Like we're going to
it's more
it's like
just
a privacy thing.
It's like stay in your lane.
We're intruding on our purity, right, Sarah?
Yeah, I think it's more like
on the human spirit, right? To, like
right, like
or something.
It's a way of like distracting ourselves with that which is outwards rather than looking inwards and towards each other in the neighborly spirit. You know, we think, well, how do we build a big boat? How do we go up there in space? Flying, obviously not natural. I barely believe in commercial air travel, let alone going all the way to another I was going to call it a planet.
It would take 3 days to get there, by the way.
3 days.
The moon?
Mm-hmm. It's a 3-day trip.
Oh
It
my
really
god, it's
is.
like going to Australia or something.
It really is.
I'm not a moon landing conspiracy theorist, but I do like just kind of on the face of it, intuitively, the idea that like we went to the fucking moon in the 60s when we didn't even have like the internet is insane to me. Although maybe, you know, like if we'd had the internet back then, we probably never would have made it to the moon. So, you know what I'm saying?
What do you
That
mean?
is crazy.
Everyone's playing Candy Crush now. That's why we can't go to the moon anymore.
That's right. Everybody's playing Candy Crush. Everybody's watching No one actually knows what everyone's watching now. Everyone's watching a different show that no one else has ever heard of.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Have you guys watched Siren?
No. What is that?
It's like Korean ladies who are all like first responders of different varieties competing on an island, like Survivor style.
Oh, it's like actual reality television.
Yeah, there's like a firefighter team and like a police team and an army team and a bodyguard team, and they're all Korean women, and they have to like break each other's shit to win the winner of the island.
Wow.
That sounds actually kind of great.
It is. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems improbable to me that we hadn't figured out that you shouldn't like lick the light bulbs, chew on the light bulbs. People still smoked in the car with their like small children, and yet somehow we figured out how to go to the moon.
Wasn't like the computer that did all the navigation and stuff was like worse than one of those graphing calculators that they make you buy if you go to like a public high school. You have to buy a TI-89. Apparently you still have to, like, a lot of the time buy a TI-89, which is insane.
It's because of tests, right? Like, they don't want you can't have your phone out during a test.
Yeah, I guess, but like they're like $150 or something.
That's crazy.
Like that.
They should just have some. And
I think they're from 1989.
The university,
the
high school couldn't provide those.
No, you got to buy one.
Okay,
but
stupid. Yeah, and it's all Jack Black's mom's fault.
Is she like a bad guy?
Jack Black's mom was like the math lady. She did all the moon math.
Oh, so she's like Lin-Manuel Miranda's dad.
Well, what did Lin-Manuel Miranda's dad do?
He was like
you told me this. Wait,
he's like a power company executive in Puerto Rico, and was like,
he's like an evil guy, right?
Yeah, like I don't know all the details, so I might be committing a slander, or a libel. Slander is written.
Don't say anything bad about Lin-Manuel Miranda.
But his dad apparently like had some hand in like the push to privatize Puerto Rico's power network.
Seems bad.
Taking away the public utility from the people and making it much more expensive for the average person in Puerto Rico to have power.
Judith Love Cohen, Jack Black's mom, she was a science lady, an aerospace engineer, one of those math chicks. She invented a program that saved the Apollo 13 mission, which was the one where they got all the way to the moon and then they were like, we can't land, oh no, and they had to like go around the moon and come back.
Oh God.
They made the movie with the Aerosmith song about it.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel tired, Izzy? Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I just don't like any of that.
I don't like Aerosmith.
And you know who also doesn't like any of that? Neil Armstrong. He says he regrets going to the moon.
Does he really?
Yeah, he says he wished he'd spent more time with his family.
Yeah, he had a kid who died. Maybe if he hadn't gone to the moon, he could have spent more time with that dead kid.
I was gonna say he was like on the moon for how long? Like it wasn't. He
had to get ready for a long time.
He had to work hard enough to be the one that was chosen to go on the moon.
Yeah.
So he careered. He did too much career, not
careered
family.
Yeah, he careered instead of family.
And when he came back, he was like in an like a quarantine, and he and his wife had to touch each other through the glass like this, and it was a metaphor for how he was cut off from people. Wow. I saw that movie that the La La Man made, which was called First Man, by the way. The disreputable and disgusting Ryan Gosling as Neil.
What's disreputable about Ryan Gosling? He's so charming.
I have no problem with him. He doesn't do it for me, but I've got nothing against him. He seems like a nice man.
Oh yeah, I wanted to also mention that Buzz Aldrin said there were unnatural structures on the moon.
Oh, I'd like to hear that quote in full, please, if you have it.
There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose God put it there.
Do you guys think the moon landing was faked?
By Kubrick.
There's sort of a spectrum ranging from we never ever went to the moon ever to sure maybe we went to the moon some of those times, but not the first time. That one was fake. To we never went to the moon, but we got all the way to the moon, but we never actually landed on the moon. So everything was real up until the point where everybody's walking, and that was in a soundstage. And there's a couple explanations, or there's a couple sort of reasons why people think this is. A lot of them have to do with just sort of a general misinterpretation of how like light works. It's hard to trace this all back to one person, but there was a guy who he like worked for a company that made the rocket, but it really was not rocket stuff was really not his actual personal
his forte.
Yeah.
He wrote a book called We Didn't Go to the Moon.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, let me find his name. I was reading his Wikipedia article.
It wasn't
earlier
like
today.
The big lie.
Nope. Bill Casing, he was a Navy officer with a bachelor's degree in English language who worked for Rocketdyne, which was a company that built the engines used on the Saturn V rocket, which is, what took Apollo 11.
Wow, English majors can do anything.
English majors can do anything, including write a book called We Never Went to the Moon, America's $30 Billion Swindle. He self-published a book that seems to have sort of probably wasn't like the first ever guy to say this, but his theories are what are popularly put forth. So the number one sort of motivational theory is like the space race with Russia. We were trying to get to the moon before them, basically for PR reasons.
Yeah.
To appear better than the Soviet Union because it was the Cold War. And JFK was like, we're going to go to the moon. I'm going to put someone on the moon, everyone. And
why? Because we can.
Because we're so cool. Dumb, personally, I think waste of money could have been spent on, I don't know, like a robust welfare system in the United States. Like really almost anything would have been better than this. But he said they were going to do it, so they did it. Or did they?
What about more police? Would you prefer they have more police, Sarah?
Oh my God. My dad once translated the diary of an astronaut, a cosmonaut from Russian into English. It got published in some magazine.
That's cool. Was it anything interesting?
I have read it, but I don't really remember.
Was he like, I love that moon?
He was like, I love the moon.
He was like, I love that big old moon.
Was he like,
I
hate that moon because it's my job.
Yeah.
Moon's not so bright when it's your job.
Yeah.
9 to 5.
Clocking in on the moon. I think it might have been a diary of a cosmonaut who was on the space station. I don't know if he went to the moon.
That's even scarier.
Yeah, well, it seems like it would suck more.
Imagine if we built a moon. Like we built a shitty moon, and then we put guys in there inside of it to help
in the moon
I don't know what they're doing. What are they helping up there? What are they helping?
Well, that would answer the question.
What's doing, like readings, and they're like fixing equipment. Because like, oh my God, can you imagine like a printer could break very easily on the ground?
Right.
But like fine instruments, like in space, like it could get dust in it all the time, right?
Well, and there's no gravity, so every part of the inside of the machine would be floating. How do you account for that?
Yeah.
I watched a spacewalk recently. They streamed it on youtube.com. They streamed a live spacewalk, and it was 2 ladies fixing some instruments on the International Space Station. And I'd like to take this time just to say that women could be astronauts too. And good on you, ladies.
Great job.
Great job, ladies.
Great job, ladies, fixing those instruments. I forgot what they were.
Telemetry. I learned the word telemetry reading about the moon landing. Another conspiracy theory is that NASA faked the moon landings so that they would keep getting funded, which is a really funny idea.
That's
So, like,
genius.
your job is to go to space, and so you have to pretend that you went to space so you can keep going to space.
Well, like they didn't go enough, so they had to make it more dramatic.
Right. One of the ideas, there's this other book called Dark Moon, which is another conspiracy book where they say, well, NASA would never take the risk of like broadcasting something terrible happening live on television, which wrong, like that has happened. Did anyone remember the Columbia? Like, we definitely broadcast people dying live on television trying to go to space. So, but anyway, their theory was like, oh, we would never wanted to risk like someone imploding on television because the moon landing was, it was like televised, basically live, right? I think there was a delay, but because it was broadcasting from the moon, so it took a couple minutes.
3 days.
Like 3 days to
3 days
get the tape back from the moon.
So they said they had to fake it and make it flawless so that the public would continue to be confident in NASA, that they weren't really ready to fulfill Kennedy's promise.
I believe that under a Kennedy campaign, because weren't they doing a lot of like filming? And with Nixon, right?
Yeah, Nixon,
lots of filming.
Lots of filming.
They invented the Super 8 camera during Nixon, and they were filming everything. They were addicted to it. They thought it was great fun. Yeah, it was their Instagram.
It was their Candy Crush.
Do people use Instagram still?
I don't know.
Sometimes.
I think people use stories.
Stories? Is that a website?
Yeah, stories.com.
Yeah, stories.
Today's sponsor.
Yeah, today's sponsor. Stories.com, where you can tell a story.
Where no one will hear you scream.
Where no one will hear you scream.
Also, didn't they lost like the moon video? Like that's
they lost it.
How
convenient.
They broadcast it live and then they lost it.
Oh, that's so no one could analyze it.
So this is some silly shit. This is some very silly shit. NASA somehow lost like so many tapes.
Yeah.
A shocking number of tapes. So obviously we have footage of the moon landing, but we have like what was broadcast. So it's like a recording of the broadcast. What NASA lost was like the originals, which are much higher quality, and they also had like telemetry, the word that I now know.
What's telemetry?
It's like all the readings that they were doing. So they were broadcasting and recording in real time, like video footage of them walking, but also like all of the readings they were taking, measurements of various kinds. All of that stuff was also getting broadcast back to whatever, Cape Canaveral, NASA HQ.
Yeah.
At the same time. So all of that stuff, it was on big old tapes because it was the 60s. And all that stuff, they just don't know where it is. They tried again to sort of do like a really thorough search and audit all of these various archives where government tapes get stored in the 2000s and still could not find any of this shit. And they concluded that probably what happened is that it just got taped over. This used to be very common practice. It sounds insane, but like when things used to be stored on very bulky types of mediums, I don't know the right technological way to express this. When things were stored on like reel-to-reel tapes and shit, we used to just go over them. We would just erase them. And many historical things have been lost due to this.
But like the moon landing, that's so insane. That's
somebody didn't label it good, maybe.
Like Wikipedia was like, oh, at the time, like preservation of broadcast TV wasn't a priority, and it's like it was the moon land. It was the human beings on the moon for the first time.
It's kind of, I don't know, it's like psychologically interesting because to me it feels like it's part of that whole phenomena of like in the 70s they were going to raise city courthouses like all across the country, like historic courthouses and historic buildings, because they were like, we're living in the future, we're going to make interesting new things. Like there was maybe a time seemingly around the 60s and 70s when people were extremely not inclined to look backwards. Like preservation was not a priority.
They were like, who cares, we'll fly our cars there in 10 years.
I don't know.
Take a look for ourselves.
I mean, obviously this is simply an oversight, but the fact that you would like not have really thorough storage of something that important does seem like part of a psychological condition, maybe.
It's
That
so wacky.
it's wild.
It's wacky.
There's like 60 tapes or something. So anyway, like the really high quality footage that probably would have debunked. I mean, not that this stuff hasn't been like thoroughly debunked in other ways, but the fact that the really clear images are not there has led to some of the confusion of people being like, well, how come the crosshairs look like they're behind the people and not in front of them? It's like, yeah, because these pictures are like really blown out because we just have copies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they did fake it then. What do you think?
I think they definitely could have. That's for sure.
Here's, to me, the most convincing argument for why they couldn't have faked any of them, let alone all 6 of them, is that it would require so many people to pretend to go to the moon would require a huge number of people. Just unavoidably, like even going to the moon one time, there's like thousands and thousands of people involved in like broadcasting that, producing it, making it, lying about it, doing the press for it. Maybe not every single one of those people has to be in on the lie, but enough people have to be in on the lie that I don't think there's any possible way that credible people close to that wouldn't have come forward. Like it would have leaked at some point through some of those people. You can't have like a really small crew fake the moon landing and then be sworn to secrecy. You know?
Yeah. I've also seen people say like stuff about like how it would be impossible with like the cameras and like the film technology of the time to like fake a bunch of stuff.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Well, that was my issue. Like I saw a video that was saying that like it would have been more expensive to somehow develop the technology to film this than it would have been to just build a rocket to go to the moon.
Oh,
like fake it.
Not in Hollywood times.
Not in Hollywood.
Right.
Well, isn't the whole
like,
Kubrick
rocket
argument?
Fuel has to be so expensive and all like the custom metal and shit. Like
it's just like double gasoline, right? It's just like or I'm sorry, petrol for you Canadians. They call it petrol.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's like so many like safety like measures you'd have to take versus just like faking like a photo shoot. Like you on Instagram do it every single day, Sarah.
Whoa, okay. Don't attack me. Part of the Kubrick theory, is that he made a movie where it really looked like people were on the moon already. He had already done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Star Wars too. Really looks real to me.
Star Wars is later, but yes.
Oh.
They probably made it as a backup. And something did go wrong.
I mean, some people say it's not faked because the moon landing scene in 2001 doesn't look anything like the real moon landing. But other people say it looks realer than the real moon landing. And that's how you know the real moon landing is real, is that it doesn't look cinematic enough.
Do you think that they put the real moon landing in 2001 A Space Odyssey and put a fake moon landing in its place to just put us in our place?
I couldn't tell you because I've tried to watch that movie twice and both times I fell asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not one of Kubrick's gals, unfortunately.
This is the problem, though, because I'm just
like shiny.
I don't know anything about movies or films or cameras or the moon. And I feel like to know if it's real or fake, I would have to know at least something about cameras or about the moon. And I don't know.
You need to gain mastery of the moon.
We took a class about the moon.
We didn't take
things about the moon.
There was like 2 days about the moon. It was like moon. Oh yeah, there it is. Something that had a core or something. Maybe it didn't have a core.
As a solid iron core, the moon. It's geologically inert.
Badass.
If people lived inside the moon, are you imagining like being burrowed in tunnels of something solid? Or are you imagining the moon is hollow, like a Truman Show kind of moon?
Worm tunnels, big worms, big worms, moon worm tunnels.
But are the moons like in dirt? Like what's in there?
What do you
mean?
The
guys who were inside of there fixing printers, like when I hear people in the moon, I imagine just like a hollow sphere.
Oh yeah, there's probably like there's probably like a crust, like our crust, but then instead of like a mantle and a core, there's like a city inside.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about the
Wow.
iron core?
Well, I think that's badass.
Yeah, so it's there.
Solid
Maybe the city
iron,
is
baby. That's
built
heavy
on top
metal.
of the iron core.
It's probably carved out of the iron core of the moon.
Yeah.
That's badass.
I
Dude,
like
that's
that.
so. How fucking badass would it be if you had like a piece of the solid iron core of the moon? Like if you had like fucking moon
badass.
iron. Like what if you had like a sword made of like the fucking badass iron moon core?
Well, some people say the reason why we didn't fake the moon landing is like, because we have these rocks from the moon. But other people are like, so why couldn't we have gone and gotten those from Antarctica?
And couldn't we just send a robot up to get some rocks?
Well, and like furthermore, couldn't we just like whenever there is a what's it called, asteroid from the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not moon rock? Is that not moon rock?
No, that's moon rock.
An asteroid from the moon?
Does the moon make
Does the moon make asteroids?
I don't know. Chunks?
I don't think it does.
I'm realizing
Chunks?
now we needed to get a moon expert for this.
Well, the moon gets hit with asteroids a lot, but we see them as shooting stars.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
That's so beautiful.
It's all about perspective, man.
Yeah, it really is all about perspective.
It really, like, check it out, like Owl City Fireflies, type it in, look it up.
Change your perspective.
Fucking moon.
I swear I read something about rocks.
Did you know there's a piece of the moon inside the Earth, probably?
What?
Inside?
Yeah, so they discovered, so the moon, I said in our document that the moon was made of Mars, and that's not true. The moon was probably created by a collision between proto-Earth and another proto-planet.
Mm-hmm.
Which for all of you Canadians out there, that means like what's before it's an official planet. It's like a proto-planet. But yeah, like so two protoplanets collided, and the remnants of that collision became the Earth and the moon.
Wow.
But there is a piece of what became the moon deep inside the Earth, apparently. There's like a blob that they have seen like close to the core, like, in their like geology scans, that's denser than they said it's about the size of a continent, and it's denser than the rest of the Earth.
Wow.
And they
that's
figured
deeply erotic, that
that's
the moon
scary.
is inside the Earth.
Yeah, the moon is deep inside the Earth, and it's actually the piece of the crust, the piece of the moon that was left behind by the collision actually sank down. It's like because it's more dense, it sank down deeper and deeper into the Earth, and now it's just resting there.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I like that.
Wow, that means that like the land
moon's
around
inside
it would
us.
have shifted a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that why the tides on Earth are affected by the moon, because the moon is inside of the Earth?
Probably. That's why
like a magnet.
Yeah, that's
No,
why the
it's 'cause
moon
of
and the Earth are
gravity.
connected. Explain gravity. That makes me tired to think about.
Yeah.
Well, the moon is so close to Earth that it has a strong gravitational pull. And so the thing it affects is the liquid. That's why the liquids go up and down. It's
Does
going around.
something about this have to do with magnets?
Oh, the moon stabilizes our magnetic poles. If we didn't have the moon, we wouldn't have stable magnetic poles, and there would be no stable climates.
Okay.
That's
Thank
so
you, moon.
badass.
So
Okay,
thank you, moon. Everyone go
thank you,
the
moon.
moon. Everyone stop, pause this episode, go to the window, open, and say, thank you, moon.
Set an intention. Dylan sent us a video that said we should set an intention.
Yeah. Well, I Googled before this to prepare. I Googled, how can I, as a man, engage with the moon? And that was the first video that came up.
So wait, her steps are find out what the moon's doing.
You gotta look at the moon.
Yeah.
I forgot what the steps are. There's a lot of like write down what the moon is doing on your calendar. There's a lot of stuff about your calendar.
Yeah, you gotta connect with the moon. You gotta sync yourself with its cycles.
Like you gotta
notice
your periods. Like when you're ovulating, you put it on your calendar. When
There
the
are
moon is
patterns
ovulating,
all
you put
around
that
us,
on your
Dylan.
calendar.
You got to open your eyes.
It was a little like humbling for me because I was like, this person who believes that the moon is directly like influencing her life is so much more
It
organized than
probably
me.
is.
Like this woman believes she's like communicating with the moon and it's
No,
like
I think what's
guiding her.
happening is that the moon is her calendar.
Yeah, but
And that's why she
yet
has her life together, is because she knows what, when, and where it is based, just like use the calendar app on her phone.
It's
Okay?
working for her. Yeah, the video is called 4 Easy Tips to Connect to the Moon. So the steps are write down the new and full moon on your calendar. And then you set intentions at the new moon. And then you name the moon on the full moon. So you give it a name. You say, Petey or Charlie or
Damascus.
Okay, wait. Are you
Damascus.
supposed to give the moon a name? Or are you supposed to find out does the moon always have a name? When people are like, oh, it's a harvest something moon.
I think the moon is named Luna, right?
Yeah, it's Luno.
That's like her Christian name, but she has like many moods, right? Aren't you supposed to know those ones?
Well, Sarah, like the video is 8 minutes long, and this was about 2/3 of the way through the video. So I'm going to be honest with you. I did not find out whether you're supposed to make up the name, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're supposed to make up the name.
Dylan, if you could name the moon, what do you think the moon is doing right now? If you had to guess.
Probably being a what is the moon doing? Like,
is it waxing or waning? Like, what size is it? And
yeah,
is it getting bigger or smaller?
I would say just off the top of my head, it's waxing gibbous right
now. Is that bitch waxing gibbous?
Can we Google what phase is the moon in?
I saw the moon the other night because the baby noticed it.
What did he say?
He was like, that moon up there.
Does he have like a connection?
Embarrassing.
Well, he usually before daylight savings time, he was always asleep before the moon was like really doing its thing. But now that it gets darker an hour earlier, he like sees the moon sometimes. So I think he's pretty interested in it. He'll be like, moon going down, moon coming up, sun going down. I did ask him what he knew about the moon, and he said, and tell me what you make of this. He said, moon have temperatures.
Ooh, he knows something.
He knows something. I don't think he knows what temperatures are conceptually. He knows about hot and cold and warm and cool.
He means
but
vibes.
Yeah. Vibes.
I was like, isn't that kind of like the only thing the moon doesn't have? I guess no, it does have temperatures, right? Because the hot side, the bright side is going to be colder than the dark. No, the bright side is going to be warmer.
Yeah, because there's fucking light. Light's warm.
Light's warm.
I know that the astronauts had to have air conditioning in their suits.
So it was hot on the moon.
What temperature is the moon?
By the way, everybody, the moon is in waxing gibbous.
Yeah.
I was right. And I knew that because of football.
Really? How?
So on Thanksgiving, I was watching the Detroit Lions play the Green Bay Packers. And I saw a Twitter post where somebody had posted a chart they had made that the Detroit Lions are 0-12 when playing on Thanksgiving at home when the moon is in waxing gibbous phase. And then there was like
someone's doing football astrology, you're telling me.
Yes, it was like all the dates that they had lost at home on Thanksgiving when the moon is in waxing gibbous. And then it happened again. They lost again, and now the Detroit Lions are 0-13 when the moon is in waxing gibbous on Thanksgiving Day at home.
The reason why I asked you what the moon was doing right now is because I wanted to know what you would name it.
Probably like I feel like the moon. Maybe this is just going to be more telling about like my mental state, but I feel like the moon is creeping right now.
A creeping moon. Oh, I was thinking Christian name.
What about the Scrounger?
No, like first name, last name.
Well, the moon is a woman, right?
Yeah, the moon is a woman.
And the moon, where's the moon from? Like what?
Space.
Nationality is the moon?
She's from the Milky Way. Is the moon in the Milky Way?
But I'm like, if I'm gonna give her a Christian name, like I need to know like where she's
Her
from.
ethnicity.
Yeah, I need to know her ethnicity. I need to know what ethnicity the moon is. Or at least like what culture.
Well, we can see her in America, so I think that makes her American.
I would call the moon Francesca Glebbings.
Glebbings.
Francesca
Glebbings.
I think she's Francesca because I've always found that name ethereal and a little upsetting.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I'm a little creeped out by the name Francesca. No offense to
Francesca could ruin your life.
Like I don't know, like Francesca. I think like Francesca plays the piano and Francesca is evil.
Yeah, she has decorative scarves for sure.
Yeah. And then Glebbings because I think the moon is German American based on vibes.
Glebbings. Hey, by the way, the moon in the day, like the moon's day, which is different from our day. In the day, the moon is 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fuck you.
And just to be polite,
wait, really?
Are you serious?
That's hot.
Just for our friends over there in Canada who the moon does not have that ethnicity, but I will tell you anyway that is 120 degrees Celsius.
That's hot.
In the day, the moon is 250 degrees Fahrenheit. At night, it is negative 208 degrees.
That is temperamental.
Yeah.
How has Neil been living up there?
She runs hot and cold, which is Francesca behavior.
She plays us hot and cold.
Yeah.
Did you know
watch out for her? She's crazy.
She is crazy, that moon. It's like the moon is like I don't know. Like, what is it? Because it is kind of a planet.
It's a moon.
It's a moon.
Right.
The moon is a moon.
There are 150 moons in our solar system.
Because some planets have a lot of moons, right?
Saturn has 48.
What about like Cassiopeia and Io? Those are moons, right?
Jupiter moons, right?
Jupiter moons.
Or is Io Saturn?
Let's look at the prettiest names for moons.
Io moon.
Like, why is our moon the moon, but the other moons have cool names?
Because it's our moon.
We only have one. There's no need for a name. It just is the moon. It's like
she's
Madonna.
just mononymous.
Yeah,
you know that, like
an icon.
You know how like
Europa.
eclipses. You know how eclipses like eclipse the moon, and it's like an eclipse, and it gets dark here.
Yeah.
Did you know that's like I learned this during the last eclipse? Did you know that that's like unique to Earth? Like
eclipses?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of. Like so our moon is like it's like our moon is exactly the right size compared to our sun. It's like the sun the sun is like 400
proportions are great.
Yeah, it's like the moon is like 400% smaller, or it's like 400 or I can't remember if it's 400% smaller, 400 times smaller. That's a big difference. But it's like the moon is 400 something different than how far the sun is away from the Earth.
You're saying there's like a beautiful ratio.
Yes, it's like
the moon
ratio. The moon appears to be the exact same size, like because of the distance we are from the sun and because of the size of the moon, they appear to be the same size, which allows for eclipses. Whereas, like on almost any other planet, that wouldn't work that way. The sun would be way bigger than the moon.
Not to brag, but those other planets are not as cool, even though they have cool named moons like Callisto. And you don't like that?
No, I love it. Like Callisto Flockhart.
Yeah, what about
it's like a sort of gender neutral kind of
Hyperion?
Ooh, that's really cool.
Hyperion is badass.
Yeah,
that's what I would name.
Really badass.
If I had a sword made out of the moon's metal, I would call it Hyperion, and it would be fucking badass.
Oberon.
A name for a baby, Hyperion.
Hyperion.
No, because people call him
Hyperion.
Hypey.
People go hi pee.
Hi pee.
Stop! I'm in college,
dude.
I'm not anymore.
What about Iapetus?
No, it's not.
Iapetus.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Excuse me.
No, you're not.
Iapetus is a moon of Saturn.
No, you're
It
not.
is the third largest moon of Saturn and the 11th largest in the solar system.
What's the one
Named
that has
after
like
the
sea
Titan
monsters on it?
Iapetus, the woman who has sea monsters.
No, the moon that has sea monsters.
I don't know which moon. Larissa? She's Russian.
Moon with ocean.
Europa.
Under the ice.
Ganymede. See, Ganymede. That's a cool name.
Ganymede.
Or Jupiter 3.
That's not as
Jupiter
cool.
3, damn.
Jupiter
they
3
should-
is a
I
cool
would name my
name.
kid Jupiter 3 for sure.
Wait. You're telling me the solar system is 151 moons and we still have one just called Jupiter 3?
No, it's called Ganymede or Jupiter 3.
I was
It's like when
we
you
need
read a classy book and it has a name and then like a
Well,
second name.
It's an angel number, so it's special.
Did you wait?
Dion.
If you could name a moon, what would you name it? Like if you could name it anything.
14
like-
extra 6.
Like Incitatus or like Clytemnestra.
That's good. Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra. Yeah.
Agamemnon.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I
Agamemnon is like
know,
a
yeah.
perfect name for a moon. Yeah. You know
I
what
would
I'm
name
talking
it
about.
Ronstadt.
Like Linda?
Yeah, Linda Ronstadt.
There's a moon named Rhea, like Rhea Perlman.
Is it spelled like Rhea Perlman?
Rhea. That's how you say that name, right? Rhea.
She's been around for a minute. Is it named
Rhea.
after her? Do you think?
One can assume it's named after her. Yeah, maybe it's really little like her. The only woman small enough for Danny DeVito. It's so sad that they divorced. Like, who can marry them now? No one else is as little.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What?
They got divorced?
Yeah, or separated, but they're no longer being short together.
That's so sad.
Thebe, Oberon, Amalthea,
These are
Phoebe.
other names of the moons.
Helene. Yeah, Helene is a really evil name.
Seems Greek.
Helene. She's up to no good.
Yeah, she's not doing anything nice.
I'm personally a little upset that there's 40% of the moon that we've never seen.
Yeah. How do we look at it?
There's got to be something on there.
Well,
there's that-
okay.
Oh yeah.
There's the noise.
The noise?
Yeah. Okay. So, in my extensive research on the moon, one thing I learned, and this is actually real, even though it does not sound real, is that some of the astronauts, when they were going around the back of the moon, which I think is how they leave, they have to like, you know,
Yeah.
Go at the back?
They
gotta,
slingshot.
yeah, there's a slingshot.
Whoa. That's
they-
crazy to think about.
They heard a very spooky noise. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
The spooky noise.
1000%, yes.
Let me find it. I found a video on
You know
YouTube.org.
it's gonna be the noise of like a slingshot.
No, it's like
throughout gravity.
a slingshot throughout gravity. That's
Yeah, that would make
beautiful.
like a.
Okay, hang on, let
It's
me
like
mute
that.
this until
It
I
would
find.
make like a crazy sound wave.
This is a YouTube video from the Science Channel called Outer Space Music, NASA's Unexplained Files. Now, this was this has been known within NASA since it happened, but it wasn't declassified, or it was declassified and then nobody bothered to look in the archives. But someone in 2008 was like, "Sorry, wait, what? There was a spooky noise."
You gotta get in those damn archives.
You
Let
have
me
got to
see
get
it.
in there.
You gotta
So
get in
here's the
there.
thing.
Are
I
they
would
in
thrive.
Texas?
I would thrive in that environment. There's nothing I love more than trawling an archive.
There's a
Let me
musty
in.
old piece of tape with a huge, shocking revelation just mildewing away
Totally.
down there.
I would find it. Okay,
With the
so
silverfish.
I don't actually know which Apollo mission this was.
10.
10? That's not one.
10.
That's not one of them.
10.
11. 11
10.
was the first one.
10.
10.
No,
10,
11 wasn't the
9,
first one.
10.
11 was the first one.
Do you know about Apollo 1?
Oh, is that the one that exploded?
It didn't launch and everyone died. during a
That's
test.
the Gil Grissom one, right? Indiana's own Gil Grissom.
Yeah, the first Apollo mission, they like all got locked inside the capsule during a test, and there was an electrical wiring on Earth. Yeah, they didn't even.
That's why climate change is happening.
And then they all burned up in there, and it's horrible.
They burned up. Gil Grissom from Mitchell, right? Or
from Mitchell?
I think he's from Mitchell.
God bless.
Either Mitchell or Bedford. There's a couple astronauts from Mitchell and a couple astronauts from Bedford.
From Mitchell?
Yeah, Gil Grissom.
From the school bus factory?
Gus Grissom. Who's Gil Grissom? That's a guy from CSI, my favorite show. Gus Grissom, American astronaut. Virgil Ivan. That's such an Indiana name. Virgil Ivan Grissom.
Virgil Ivan, get out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
From Mitchell. There's like 3 astronauts from Mitchell.
So
something in the water.
Mitchell's a very small town. For
Mitchell's
those of you who are Canadians, everybody else, Americans are going to be familiar with Mitchell, Indiana.
They'll know. Mitchell, Indiana. Here's how small it is. There's like an ad on the classic country radio station I listen to. That's some business in Mitchell, and it's located, quote, at the light in Mitchell.
That's right. Didn't they also used to produce like most of America's school buses? That was their thing.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or like a lot of them. They made all the classic.
Wow, that's really interesting.
School buses.
Population in Mitchell is like 4,000.
Yeah.
That is because it was on the Monon line, so I think it used to have a bigger population.
That's a railroad or
the Monon Railroad. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Canadians in the chat.
Y'all heard of a railroad?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the spooky noise. No. They haven't figured that out yet.
Because they're gonna hit a moose every time, and they're gonna have to scrape it off the track.
That's horrible.
Moose crossing. Here we go.
That.
Here's the scary noise. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's hear this noise.
Let's see.
The tapes contain recordings of strange, otherworldly music coming through the Apollo module's radio. The conversations that follow the sounds makes it clear they are unlike anything the astronauts have ever heard.
That is music even sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? Do you hear that whistling sound?
In their headsets, it sounded like a woo-woo kind of a noise.
Sounds like, outer space-time music.
If I were to hear something back there, the first thing probably would freak me out.
Boy, that sure is weird music.
Over the course of an hour, they mention it multiple times. This is not just some anomaly. This is something that they're all really hearing, and it's really weird.
They say it's like music?
Yeah,
I mean,
calling it music is a bit of a stretch.
Or it's just a sound.
It is like an oscillating sound. It goes.
See that? Yeah, this is my slingshot theory. That's probably what it sounds like.
What a slingshot sounds like.
When some tin from Indiana is getting slingshot through space.
Yeah, I think I know what that is.
What do you think that is?
And this is real. Okay, so like you know how I look like rough lately and how I'm like tired all the time?
No, I would never say that about you, but I'm sorry that you feel that way, and I want to affirm you.
Yeah, I also want to double that affirmment.
Well, I've been staying up all night a lot listening to shortwave radio.
Oh, good.
Like Paris would.
Yeah, like Paris. I've been like playing around, just like checking out different weird stuff on shortwave radio. Yeah, like Paris would. And that's why I don't look so good or sound so good. It's because I am like super sleep deprived because I keep listening to the signals. But and I hear things I'm not sure if they're really coming through. No, the radio or not.
Oh my god, I have a great scary story to send you guys on that topic.
But that woo sounds exactly like you're scanning through radio signals and there's nothing on the radio. Like it sounds like that's what like low band, like low wattage shortwave radio sounds like if there's like nothing there. Like a lot of the time, if you're just like
you like to fall asleep to that.
Yeah. I'm like doing it on my computer and I'm clicking around and a lot of the time I hear like like that. You're like spooky, echoey, like almost like it sounds like you're underwater and something spooky is happening. Noise. I think that's radio interference. Is the short way to say what I said much.
So what?
Yeah.
What is interfering with their radio?
Yeah, what's doing it though?
If I had to guess,
Magnets?
it'd be the moon. Probably. Probably be the entire fucking moon being.
Why
in
did
between
she
the
decide to
rocket
do
and the
that?
Earth. Why did she? Well, I mean, you two answer that because you still haven't answered my question. Like, what is the deal? Like, women in the moon.
Well, this might help elucidate things for you. I'm looking at the website for the Royal Museum of Greenwich, which I assume is like the Greenwich Mean Time, Greenwich.
Mm-hmm.
And this tells you the name of the moons by month. You know, every month's moon has a different name. Maybe this is what that woman meant.
Wow.
Oh, you name the moon.
Like for example,
Francesca.
obviously in September, full corn moon.
Oh,
What?
I love that.
October, hunter's moon. People have heard of hunter's moon. I think that's because the moon's really bright, so you can hunt by it.
Ooh.
November, you may not know. Women know this, of course, that November is the beaver moon.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It is very much. It is very much the beaver moon right now, and
What is
that's why the
that?
moon and women are so. We're what you might call simpatico.
Why? What's the connection?
The beaver moon.
Why is it the
It's
beaver
there in
moon?
the name, Dylan. The beaver moon.
I don't get it.
Well, there is disagreement over the origin of November's beaver moon name. Some say it comes from Native Americans setting beaver traps during this month, while others say the name comes from the heavy activity of beavers.
Oh.
December, not very well thought out, I would say. The December moon, simply the cold moon.
Yeah, accurate, probably. Well, except in the daytime.
Not in the day.
Yeah.
Not in the day. They also call it a long night moon or an oak moon. See, that sounds more like something you might name a candle.
I had a feeling it was like always. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I was up all night listening to the signals, and a lot of them just like that moon interference. But yeah, like I forgot. Man, I yawned all the thoughts out of my head. Gosh darn it. Shit. Oops. What was I saying?
I don't know. Something about the moon, probably. Names of the moon, the beaver moon.
Yeah. I feel like there's always like a moon thing going on. It's always like, it's the super blue highway moon. It's the
and they're like, it won't ever happen again.
Yeah, like fucking every 3 weeks. It's like, this is the last time since 2068 that there will be a pink arrow.
Waxing gibbous.
Yeah, it's a pink arrow waxing gibbous highlights moon, and you're like, what? And then you go outside, and the moon's normal.
Yeah,
as a man, moon's normal to me. Like, yep, there it is. I see it. Looks like the moon. Just always there, always looking at me, waiting.
I don't think I really noticed the moon that much, to be honest with you. As a
woman.
woman.
I'm sorry to tell you it's because you live in a place with a lot of light pollution.
Yeah, that's true. And my divine masculine energy.
Yeah. But I think also like your whatever, like the divine feminine in you is being interrupted by the fact that you live in a place with a lot of light pollution.
And the 5G.
Yeah, and the 5G. And as a woman, you need to go somewhere that doesn't have light or 5G.
Are you saying that 5G is so like moonlight is feminine energy and 5G is masculine?
No. 5G is like the devil's energy.
That's true.
It's like sin.
But the devil is masculine, right?
No, I think the devil is genderless.
I would agree with that. The devil's like a force beyond gender.
We just advertise him as a silly little red guy, but I think he's
a goat.
He's more like him from Powerpuff Girls. It's like, is that a guy?
Is that a guy? Sure. Yeah.
I've seen
him. You say it's a guy, but like, I got questions.
I've seen the drawings they did of him. The oldest drawings. He's just like a goat on a body of a dog, and he doesn't even look that big.
Oh,
he looks
I'd peek under that too.
He looks like he's maybe he looks like he's maybe 2 feet long and about 1.5 feet tall.
Well, here's the thing about the devil, and this connects back to the moon and the idea of like emptiness, right? Is that like sin is maybe best understood or best translated, and the devil is best understood and best translated as like nothingness, right? Like it's a lack of something, and it's very hard to visually represent a lack. It's much easier to say like it's a guy, but it's like a lack of belief, a lack of faith, a lack of like volition or virtue. And so, much like the empty, cold void of space,
Oh, wow.
A better way to understand evil is to understand like a lack of good.
And
But you can't draw a
lines would be
picture of
blurred
that.
in space because
I'm just saying.
Buzz
Yeah.
Aldrin got something called space sickness.
Yeah, is that where
you're
you?
telling me space
Yeah.
sickness is not the devil's work?
It sounds evil.
It's where you can't sense where your arms or legs are.
Oh no, because of the like not being in
What?
gravity thing.
That's
Yeah.
space sickness?
Yeah, that's how I
Ugh.
describe
I get
it.
that all the time.
That's a disassociation, Dylan.
No, like,
It's
well,
called a
like,
panic attack.
no. Like, my couch is like really beat up and like it's like really sunken in, and I really sink into it. And then sometimes like I'll have my legs like propped up on an ottoman, but also kind of crunched up because the ottoman's too close. And then they'll go numb, and then I'll be on my laptop, you know, but my arms will be like up here. And then the arms go numb. But a lot of the time I'm like, there are times like I'll like be working on my couch and I'll be like, oh, I can't feel my limbs. Is that space sickness? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds like your arms and legs fell asleep.
Also, like, shout out to God, but like I don't get why. I think he could beat the devil's ass if he wanted to. Because God's got to be about 200 feet tall, 250, and the devil looks like he's the size of a regular goat.
Can God do action to anything?
Yeah, God can do action to everything.
But God is having done the action, and now it's all ramifications of action.
Well, if you're like a deist, sure,
he can't
but
intervene. He'd be like, "Hey, stop, you."
Yeah.
Well, I would say that yes, he can. But there are people who believe that if you're a deist, you believe like God invented the universe and then he was like peace. But that seems like metaphysically incoherent to me.
He said peace.
Yeah,
the moon. We are technically over time now. I have nothing more. I have nothing further to present on the moon. Does anyone have further moon material?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Club Moon.
Okay. Say more.
Club on the moon. Maybe we get on the dark side up there so no one can spy on us, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
It's like an elite place.
Like a members only club.
Members only club, yeah.
Yeah.
On the moon. Dark side of the moon, Club Moon.
Yeah, I'd go.
On the light side of the moon, you could do like beach resort in the day and then skiing and winter sports at night.
Now, are you
terraform the moon?
Yeah, are you envisioning a world where we're in a bubble on the moon? Or are we just in individual spacesuits? Or are we nude on the moon?
No, I think that
we're nude on the moon.
My vision is like it's so like just being on the moon is the thrill, sort of.
Okay.
And so you're in like kind of like a pod, like you're glamping on the dark side of the moon.
Okay, so you're in a bubble.
So you're in a bubble on the moon.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could deal with that. I wouldn't mind being in a bubble.
I'm kind of picturing you have like not a spacesuit because like we've moved past that. I think you know, like I think we've moved past spacesuits. Like I don't think we don't need spacesuits anymore, right? Like because that was the 60s. Like if we like put our minds to it,
right?
What about like an N95 mask sort of size thing that just had air in it, right? Like we could do that.
Sure.
We have iPhones, like they could make that, and each person has one of those, and then you
open up the app.
250 in the daytime. We hit the pool, and then it cools down, and then you hit the slopes. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
I mean, 120 could be nice.
Could be nice.
Like 120.
120.
Well, I mean,
but you know what? You're gonna have to wear a lot of sunscreen because you're gonna be closer to the sun, right? Unless you're further from the sun.
You would get a terrible burn, I'm afraid.
Because you got no atmosphere on there.
There's no atmosphere on there whatsoever.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to put a bubble. They're gonna have to do a bubble, aren't they?
There's gonna have to be a bubble, I think. For now. But like we're disruptors and we could change it, you know?
What do you think they're gonna do? Like, is there any point? I think the reason they stopped going to the moon because it's pointless, right?
Yeah. They stopped going to the moon.
India went recently.
India went?
Oh yeah.
Had they gone before?
No, it was their first time.
Yeah,
they
first
just did
time.
it to do it, right? Like people just do it to be like, check.
You gotta do it once.
Yeah, we can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to try it one time, and then it's like going to I don't know. It's like going to Disneyland or Mount Rushmore. You got to go once, and then you've done it, and then you don't need to do it again. Like I don't need to go to I don't need to go back to Monticello.
What's Monticello?
I just want to go to the moon once.
It's Thomas Jefferson's house.
Oh, right.
Like it's there, and I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Didn't we stop going to the moon because Richard Nixon cut the moon funding?
Yeah. They cut all funding after
because he was like, "We did it. Check."
He's right. There's no reason to go back.
Do you think we should explore like the ocean instead of space?
Yeah, sure.
There's only 5% of the ocean floor mapped.
I mean, stay out of there. It would be my instinct.
Wait, you want us to stay out of there and stay out of space?
I just think
I think so. I think we should stay Terra based.
Yeah, I know like money is fake and the government can just generate as much of it as they want or whatever, but like I just think there might be better uses of money.
You think people should just stay on the couch and not do anything at all?
Wow.
Just watch TV, like rot your brain.
It depends on what show. Are they watching Siren?
Siren is so dope.
Yeah, maybe if they're watching Siren. Wait, Siren singular or plural?
Singular. Check it out. It's on Netflix. You're gonna need to put some subtitles on there.
So it's called. This name is clever, right? It's Siren, like they're first responders, but also Siren, like wee-oo, wee-oo. No, like Lady Mermaid.
They're Lady
Mermaid. But
they're Lady
Siren
Mermaids.
has a negative connotation, right? A siren.
But it's sexy.
But they also like betray each other a lot.
It's like she's gonna kill you.
It's
right.
It's like Survivor, but if the tribes broke into each other's shelters at night and like broke everyone's shit.
What?
That sometimes happens on Survivor, no?
But I mean, like they have like axes and stuff.
Okay, and they know how to use them.
Yeah, because they're first responders. I'm pro team bodyguard.
Really?
No, I hate team bodyguard.
Don't you think bodyguards are like trying to steal valor all the time?
Yeah, team firefighter for life.
Yeah, firefighters, I mean, they are fire pigs, but as we know, they have the most valor
of all. Bodyguards, what valor are they stealing? They seem like the most dignified of the options.
Well, it's kind of mercenary, right? Like if you're a bodyguard.
Yeah.
You're just getting paid. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting paid to like look scary.
You're not like serving your country.
The show also confusingly has team stunts, which are just stunt women, and they are
Wow.
Those are not first responders.
I think they needed like they wanted to have like 6 teams, and they ran out of types of first responders. I think they should have like Team Coast Guard or something.
Do they have
like
EMTs?
I don't think so. No, it's athlete, stunt.
Athlete?
Yeah, it's like Korean national athletes. It's athlete, stunt, army. They're not like it's okay, so it's athlete, stunt, army.
Do they not have a lot of female army technicians?
Probably.
There
they
are
have
surely
what are they
6 female like civil service jobs that you can choose.
What about post office?
Yeah, mail carrier.
That's like a first responder, basically.
That is like a first responder, and they fucking suck.
So the A tier,
where's my mail?
I don't know.
First responders are firefighters, cops,
gymnasts,
and gymnasts. Because what if there's a baby Jessica down the well situation and you need someone really flexible?
That's
in
true.
South
What are you gonna
Korea,
do?
the first responder types in South Korea are army, police, fire, gymnast, or athlete, bodyguard,
There aren't any
and
cops?
stunt woman. There are there are cops.
There's cops.
It's army, police, firefighter, stunt women.
Not meter maids.
No, there's bodyguard, there's athlete, there's stunt women, there's firefighter, there's army, there's police.
3 of those things are not like civil servants.
Not in America, but you don't know about. Yeah, not to you.
Okay.
You don't think, do you think athletes are civil servants? Do you think athletes like contribute like
Nothing to society.
like what about the
It contributes
Olympics?
so much.
Well, don't you? I'm talking about being employed by
morale.
the government, but I guess if you're saying they're part of the Korean national team, then maybe they are.
They are part of the Korean national team.
Okay.
Like the athlete lady is like a judo champion.
All right.
For the Olympic.
How would you do this? What would your 6 categories be?
Like of civil servants?
Yeah. You have to have cops. You need like a villain. You need like dumb villains.
Cops, firefighters, TSA would be funny.
TSA would be amazing. They'd be the meanest ones.
And they'd have to do
TSA for flair.
They all have to do like brutal physical challenges, and it'd be very funny to watch the TSA do that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
you know, like climb up this rope, chop 10,000.
There has to be a roast. If you have the TSA, definitely.
Yeah. There's a roast instead of a elimination.
EMTs are definitely fucking first responders.
Well, they were probably too busy doing all the Korea emergencies. So,
mail carriers.
Yeah.
Elder care.
Meter maids.
No, we're civil service. Okay, meter maids.
Elder care.
Okay, that's not civil service.
Caretaker.
Nurses, maybe.
Caretaker. Yeah.
What about like social workers?
Social workers. As we've discussed before on this podcast, everyone we know with a degree in social work is mentally ill.
That's not true.
Or counseling.
Is it? Or counseling. I think the counselors have masters in social work. That's how a lot of people become counselors.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think you needed a degree to become a counselor.
I think you can be like a small C counselor, but I think a lot of people who are counselors have MSWs. I don't know if a lot of them are actually social workers. Probably not, because it's hard.
Social workers, meter people, parking enforcement, TSA, and then grave diggers.
Grave diggers.
Female grave diggers.
Yeah, there's female grave diggers. There's women. Women can do anything. Women can dig graves. Also, how cool is it? It's got to be empowering to dig the graves of men, especially at a much higher rate and much younger.
We are the daughters of the men.
Yeah.
We're literally burying you. They're literally burying you.
Yeah. As a male feminist, I hope a woman with a cool tattoo digs my grave.
Okay.
Yeah. As an ally, like
as an ally, yeah.
Like
you could write that into your last rites.
Well, I guess I want to be cremated.
Last will and testament.
I want to be cremated and put in a Polar Pop cup. That's that's in my will.
Oh, and then gasoline set it on fire.
No, I want to
bomb. Then turn into a bomb.
I want the
Polar Pop into a firework.
I want the Polar Pop full of my ashes to be dropped into Clear Creek.
What if here's an idea for you.
Yeah.
We use the Polar Pop cup full of your ashes as the receptacle for lighting the firework.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
And we could tape like 8 bottle rockets to the inside rim so the cup goes up with the bottle rockets, you know?
Okay, you can blow up my ashes cup as long as you do it in the parking lot of the former Steak and Shake in Bloomington.
Which former Steak and Shake?
Like the parking lot. Yeah, like the parking lot on the by the mall, like where Borders used to be, like across the street.
That's a Dunkin' Donuts now.
Oh hell! Well, you should still do it there anyway, because it used to be a Steak and Shake, and it was my favorite place when I was alive.
When we were little, it was Mustards.
Mustards? I don't remember Mustards.
When we were like 3 and 4 years old, it was.
I want to go to Mustards.
You remember Grisanti's?
No, it was Grisanti's.
I think it was on the south side. No, it was on the. I think it was on the north side. Grisanti's. It was an Italian restaurant that my grandparents liked. That we went
was it
to
white tablecloth?
No. It did have the thing I remember most about it was like it had those like candy sticks that were dipped in chocolate. They were all like different colors.
Oh,
talking about. Those are
fucking
so good.
Those were amazing. I like the orange ones best.
I looked those up. The company that made them went out of business in 2000 something, and now they don't exist anymore.
That could be an upstart.
Maybe like that could be our next like patron goal. Like if we get enough patrons, we will start manufacturing the fruit flavored candies, hard candy sticks.
Google that?
I tried to search ribbon candy covered in chocolate, but ribbon candy is not what I mean. I mean, it's the same stuff. Hard candy sticks covered in chocolate.
Dipped in chocolate. I forgot the name of the company.
Oh, I can taste this photo. Reception candy sticks. Oh my God.
Candies, not Merbs. No, this is nothing. This is nothing to me.
You can buy them from Oh Nuts.
Oh Nuts. The ones I'm seeing now.
Out of stock.
Oh, they're called reception candy sticks.
Reception sticks. These look too thick, but maybe they're right.
I want one.
They look a little weird to me too.
I remember them being skinnier than this.
Yeah.
Bogdan. Bogdan is Polish for gift from God.
Only 17 calories per stick. Damn.
Oh my God,
Give
I want
me
one.
a whole case. Wait, can you still get these?
Bogdan.
No, it's just a picture on Pinterest and a bunch of people being like, I remember this.
Oh,
where are they?
Servicefood.com. Tell me I can get it.
Servicefood.com.
No service.
Service food.
I assume this is like,
food.
sorry, the store does not carry the product you were looking for. They instead suggest that I get a can of Campbell's condensed vegetable beef soup or some Welch's Concord grape jelly.
Wait, I'm serious. Guys, we have to start making these.
I would also like to make clown ice cream.
Oh yeah. The clown ice cream.
Discontinued. It's Bogdan.
I really want a clown ice cream.
These bastards at Hammond's Candy think they can bamboozle me into buying candy sticks, but these are not chocolate covered. These are just stupid sticks of candy. Fuck you.
Wait, I figured out what to do with my life.
Okay, you're gonna make these.
I'm gonna start making these again.
Oh, please do it.
If you'll excuse me, I need to get a haircut and a suit to go to the bank to ask for a small business loan.
I found some that are extant, but they look bad. They don't look right. I'm on ohnuts.com.
I was just on ohnuts.com.
Yeah.
Fly me to the moon.
They look way too thick.
Oh, those
look
weird.
They look good.
I mean, I
think
would
the
settle
scale
for
is
them.
just messing with you. I think they're pretty small.
Maybe I have
are they
madness.
out of stock, not available?
Remember, we told you when they had them.
Halloween Express, those are not right.
Well, they had like blue raspberry ones, but that's not right. I want orange.
No, I want like the assortment, you know, like pink, green, yellow, orange.
You gotta have some. You gotta have a couple. That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Nuts. There's a Black Friday sale for ohnuts.com. Extra 5% off your entire order. Fuck you. What kind of a sale is that? 36 sticks. How much money? Oh, out of stock. Oh my God.
They're gone. I'm telling you.
Gone.
I'm going to
if you listen to this podcast and you are a tiny chocolatier of some kind, please call in and let us know. 706-45-BIMBO. We need those reception sticks.
I need those sticks. I need to go to Grisanti's with my mom's parents, and I need those sticks, and I want to get in trouble for eating too many because they're not you're not supposed to take 10, but I'm gonna.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah. I will eat all of them without noticing.
You leave peppermints in the dish on the counter, gone.
If we get 150 patrons, we will make at least one batch for our patrons of this candy.
If we get 150 patrons, we will reorganize this podcast into a confectionery company and start producing, manufacturing, and distributing
reception candy,
chocolate dipped reception sticks
bet there's
around the world.
Sir, did you see they're Polish origin or something?
Well, Bogdan is Polish for gift from God.
I bet that there's some manufacturer in Poland we could just buy some from.
Probably
Sarah?
So. I can look deep into this. My dad is here with us. I bet I could have him translate a Polish website.
Do you know Jadwiga?
Queen Jadwiga of Poland?
No, my childhood neighbor across the way.
Queen Jadwiga of Poland was also the king of Poland because they didn't have a word for queen.
Whoa.
Oh.
She was coronated the Queen of Poland.
I can't tell if that's cool or not.
King. Sorry, king.
Yeah, slay girl boss.
Like,
yeah,
is that like
girl boss?
Is that like girl boss or like so misogynist that they just didn't even have a word
they were
for
like,
women?
Yeah, they had no category for a queen, so they were like, I guess you're the king. I mean, I think it started that way, but then it became woke, you know.
I think that's badass.
Yeah.
Get her a moon sword.
Poland's first girl boss. Hey, we have got to go. I gotta eat dinner.
Yeah.
Okay,
hey.
Jadwiga.
All right, Jadwiga.
Okay,
King of
Jadwiga.
Poland.
I also want to say full moons. A note on full moons. Women give birth more on full moons.
Yeah.
Why? What's up with your moon?
My mom could tell you that much. It's the pressure and stuff. Like women also give birth more often during thunderstorms and ice storms.
I think
Storms
it's
are
the
very-
gravity.
I gave birth during an ice storm.
And on the
But
4th of
I was
July.
induced.
And I'll do it
artificially, so-
again.
I'll fucking do it again. I might, dude. It'll be February again. So
And
it
Sarah,
could
didn't you say
happen.
that kids are weird during the full moon?
Kids are weird during the full moon. That is true. My extensive time working with children, I guess I've worked with children now for like the last decade. Yeah, a little more. Yeah, there tended to be just like a little more chaos in the air around full moons. I was the aide for an autistic kid for 4 years who pretty much predictably would have a meltdown at school on the full moon. Or like in that 3-day span. My theory is that it's because there's more light out at night, so people don't sleep as well. So they're just like a little more agitated.
He's just like the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
was always saying that to him. He is now a high schooler. Is that not the worst thing you've ever heard?
Whoa.
I started
What
working with him
clubs
in
is
the
he in?
2nd grade. I don't know. It's a
Do you
great
know what-
question.
Like what? Yeah. Do you think he's? I'm curious how he's doing. I guess it's none of my business.
He's doing good. He's doing good.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, if you have any input about the moon, if you know about the moon, if you've been to the moon, please call us 706-45-BIMBO. Anything else to plug, friends?
I'd like to plug the moon. Go
Yeah.
out to your windowsill, open that bad boy up, and say thank you, moon.
Thank you, moon.
Yeah.
Film.
Thank you, Moon. I'd like
What
to
were you
plug
saying?
the Apollo missions from the space program. I hadn't heard of this before the research we did for this podcast episode. So if you are like interested in space stuff, like go to Wikipedia and type in Apollo missions, because I learned a lot. Also, shout out to if you are interested in listening to the signals all night and letting them drive you insane, check out Kiwi SDR. They have free shortwave radio you can stream and control the dial, yourself from all over the world. Just check them out.
That's cool.
It is
and
cool.
even though the gods are crazy.
And even though the stars are blind.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thankies, babies.
Ooh, babies.
Okay, I gotta go see a movie. I'm going to
What are you
the
seeing?
Dream Scenario or whatever it's called.
What? What are you saying?
It's called like Dream Scenario. It's about like Nicolas Cage being in everyone's dreams.
What? Like Nicolas Cage as himself?
No, as a man, as like a boring math teacher or something. And he's like, it's like a stupid A24 movie I'm seeing this.
Oh, is it like a have you seen this man kind of thing?
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'd like a review. If it's good, I'll watch it.
Okay, I'll give you my report.
Did you
Jordan
see
went
Barbie?
and saw Napoleon last night with our dads.
Is it good?
I don't know. He said it was like way more about the Josephine stuff than he thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah,
Who's
too much
Josephine?
Josephine.
Josephine was his wife who was like always fucking other guys, and when he was like in exile and away from her, he wrote her a letter every day, and I think she wrote him like 3 letters ever.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Man got a nut.
I have a video I wanted to see what Jordan would think of.
Okay, send it to me.
Can we do a Jordan
will.
React segment on the Patreon?
Yes.
I will ask him. I would
Tell
love
him
to.
he'll get a cut per appearance.
I don't know why. Like I just feel like I don't like know Jordan as well as I want to know Jordan. Like
Well,
you know what I mean?
Still waters run deep type situation with him.
I just feel like we've always been like star-crossed, Jordan and I.
Are you gonna steal my husband?
If you don't watch the fuck out, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna steal your fucking husband.
Good provider. mean, I get why you want to steal my husband.
But yeah, here, I will find this video that made me, for some reason, and I can't really explain why this made me think. I just saw this and I was like, I want to see Jordan watch this because I think he would enjoy this.
Okay.
And I have no idea why it was specifically Jordan that I thought of. I'm going to go ahead and just pop that in Mod's coworkers for you now.
Okay, I have to go. I'm so sorry.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.